In this lesson, we're going to look at how mitochondria are the cell's energy converters. Think about this. Cars have it easy. We generally put only a single type of fuel in them, and it's exactly the same fuel every time. But with human bodies, it's a different story. During some meals, we put in meat and potatoes. Other times, fruit or bread or vegetables. Sometimes even popcorn and gummy bears, or pizza and ice cream. Yet, no matter what we eat, we expect our body to utilize the energy in these various foods to power all of the reactions that make it possible for us to breathe, move, and even think. Mitochondria are the organelles that make this possible. Mitochondria are the cell's all purpose energy converters, and they are present in nearly all plant cells, animal cells, and every other eukaryotic cell for that matter. Our mitochondria allow us to convert the energy contained in the chemical bonds of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins into carbon dioxide, water, and ATP. Cells use high energy ATP molecules to fuel all of their functions and activities, and we'll talk about ATP in the next unit. Because this energy conversion requires a significant amount of oxygen, mitochondria consume most of the oxygen used by each cell. In humans, for example, our mitochondria consume as much as 80% of the oxygen we breathe. Mitochondria give a significant return on this investment by producing about 90% of the energy that our cells need to function. As with so many aspects of our bodies, form follows function. Cells that are not very metabolically active, such as some fat storage cells in humans, have very few mitochondria. Other cells, like muscle cells and liver cells and sperm cells in animals, and fast-growing root cells in plants, all of which have large energy requirements, they're packed densely with mitochondria. You can see some of the comparisons between different types of cells and how many mitochondria they contain in the image shown. Some of these cells have as many as 2,500 mitochondria. To visualize the structure of a mitochondrion, imagine a plastic sandwich bag. Now take another bigger plastic bag and stuff it inside the sandwich bag. That's the structure of mitochondria. There is a smooth outer membrane and a scrunched up inner membrane. This construction forms two separate compartments within the mitochondrion. A region outside the inner plastic bag called the intermembrane space, and another region called the mitochondrial matrix. And that's the inside part of the inner plastic bag. This bag within a bag structure has important implications for energy conversion. And having a heavily folded inner membrane that is much larger than the outer membrane provides a huge amount of surface area on which to conduct chemical reactions. We'll also discuss the details of mitochondrial energy conversions and the role of the mitochondrial structure in the next unit when we're learning about ATP. We're always taught that our mothers and fathers contribute equally to our genetic composition, but this isn't quite true. The mitochondria in every one of your cells and the DNA that comes with them come from the mitochondria that were initially present in your mother's egg, which, when fertilized by your father's sperm, developed into you. In other words, all of your mitochondria are descended from your mother's mitochondria. The tiny sperm contributes DNA, but no cytoplasm and hence no mitochondria. Consequently, mitochondrial DNA is something that we inherit exclusively from our mothers. This is not true only with humans, but in most multicellular eukaryotes. As the fertilized egg develops into a two-celled, then four-celled embryo, the mitochondria split themselves by a process called fission, the same process of division and DNA duplication used by bacteria. So there are always a sufficient number of mitochondria for the newly produced cells. This similarity between mitochondria and bacteria is a characteristic that could support the theory that mitochondria were originally symbiotic bacteria. Now, given the central role of mitochondria in converting the energy in food molecules into a form that is usable by cells, you may not be surprised to learn that mitochondrial malfunctions can have some pretty serious consequences. Recent research has focused on possible links between defective mitochondria and diseases characterized by fatigue and muscle pain. It seems, for instance, that many cases of exercise intolerance or extreme fatigue or cramps after only slight exertion may be related to defective mitochondrial DNA.